Good evening, everyone. I'm trying to get music started. It does not work. Good night. Okay. By me?
Well, I didn't want Saturday night was convenient. Friday night was not.
Right. Right. Luckily, Gia won't be here till Monday. Okay. You're not annoyed with me or Gia. You're annoyed with me.
Yeah, it's one of two.
Right. I get it now. I follow now. Drove too fast.
Tomorrow, not Saturday. So if you're still trying to prove that mine was not,
All right. So I am working today on my calendar and trying to clear all the things and do all the stuff. I need to come up with this. This slideshow is cool. I like this slideshow. It's like a good temporary thing whenever it's like I'm out of tea. So because I was in a meeting before this and now I'm out of tea and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, oh man, I don't want to go get tea, but I hate leaving a dead screen. So I'm going to try something new. Add a scene, and I'm going to call this scene away from keyboard. Right? The away from keyboard thing, I have to work on it, so give me a second. All right. All right, now you should still hear me coming in from the mic, but now we have just the slideshow going, which is good because I can control the mic from my slider over here, which allows me to control how much this microphone picks up and whether it picks up. But then I can put a slideshow up and go away from keyboard, and you still see the slideshow, which I like. All right, so now I've got the main camera, the away from keyboard, the drawing monitor with its mosaic, right? And that one's cool. So the drawing monitor, main keyboard, away from keyboard's this. You still can hear me. Everybody can still hear me. All good. Mosaic. Solo just me. This is in case where we are right now, where doesn't really matter, right? Because the chat is, I don't have to have the chat overlay at this point. Just be this. You know what? That's what needs to be on the way from keyboard too. The chat. Which is this. There we go. And then like right over here. And there we go. And that way you can still see the chat when we're away from the keyboard. It doesn't have to be. There we go. See? That looks good. I like this. And then this way, we've got the chats up here. So if you guys say anything during this AFK sort of time, there's still something going on. Everything's happening. I like this. This works. So we got the main camera. We got away from keyboard. Drawing monitor solo, just me. We really should have this, and then we can attach. Also, the options in here. So this is when cans on. There's the drawing monitor. And can attacks. All right. And then this needs to be over here. We need to rename this to work desk camera. There we go. That works. Oh, this was the test version. Okay. Okay. So now we have main camera, drawing monitor, when can attacks. When can attacks could also have the stream chat on it off to the right, because it won't hurt it any. It off here because nobody will see it when can attacks. But I can use it in the, we've used this for, we can use this for the setup that's just us. Just us. Just us. In that mass. What I want to know is why I have 3 starry backgrounds. No, I just have this one. Like that. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah, but can't I set up a mask for that? Well, why do I care? It won't matter. Right? Because at least if this is set up so that can's on here, it doesn't matter what that setup says. It doesn't matter at all. Because can's here. It won't matter. So we'll rig that one that way, and that works. I like this. This is fine. So the drawing monitor, when can attacks, is also the drawing monitor. Call this. Okay, so that becomes the can or the drawing monitor with chat. Here's the work desk camera, which also could have the chat on it. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? This here, this here. I could put excuse me. This. And you can see what's over here on here, which is I'm just saying, right? And I'm just saying, because I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm saying. And this, I'm saying. So, because I mean, legit, this is the baby. Anyway, but we can make this so that it says that, and that's all good too. And then it doesn't really matter because then the stream can be up here as well. I like this. This works. Name it. And then here's the drawing. Hey, that worked really nice. I like that. All right. I think we've set up a lot of these things. Unsure. Anyway. So we will have all of these, and then I'll just do it like this. Because I don't need this one. Right? The left monitor, that was fun. Left monitor capture is cool. The work desk. And I'll add that. I'll do the same thing we did before. We'll add. And we'll do the same thing. I don't know why we have 62 starry background. It should, and then we'll add the trap. I dig this restring chat function. I've now learned how to do and how to use. And therefore, it works perfectly. If it's just me, we can use this, right? What difference does it make? So what we're doing here is we're making it so that there is a bunch of, here's the drawing monitor with the chat. I kind of feel like I need to invite Can over so he will do the bit. We'll get there. The work desk camera and the Can camera almost feel like they could be the same critter. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Except they really can't. You can't see all of them. So main monitors are this. 1, 2, 3. And the Can monitors are smaller, which we use the restream chat for no other reason other than just to keep, because that spot over there doesn't necessarily need to be a problem. Here I don't need to worry about it. I have my away from keyboard, which we can use whenever we are away from keyboard. And we have the drawing monitor for mosaics, which is important. Reading these the other direction. Yes. And whenever it's just me, drawing monitor solo. Okay. Well, there you go. All right, guys. I'm going to go fix the tea thing, and then I'll be right back. right, nothing's really changed over here. Not a problem. Let's get to work. All right. Okay, here we go. We've got the text. Already written a lot of this up here. Okay. Hmm. Curious about. I'm reading about how to do these instructions in Clip Studio Paint because maybe there's something useful in here. I'm hoping, because text is still one of the problems that boy, it does not do good. Okay. Huh. Ah, let's find out if this works, shall we? So I'm adding in all of the text. I've never used the story mode, so this should be interesting to see what happens. There we go. Now that I've done this, we have no earthly idea whether we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. This might be a complete miserable mess. And I have no earthly idea what the heck I'm doing. We'll see. Okay, so that made no real major difference though. It still doesn't do word wrap. Or it does word wrap, but it does not do widow orphan. Okay, so verifying. Yeah, this is taking a significant amount of time. I hate to say that because legitimately, this is taking too much time. It'll take a lot less time for me to export these pieces into a page and just do it in Photoshop. Right now, Clip Studio Paint, just letting you guys know, Celsius, I'm using Photoshop because it's easier for me to set text. The whole point behind using Manga Studio is that I don't have to do this. But frankly, this is going to be a lot easier for me to do it just through here. Page. In clips, because it looks like everything is set up in clips. I don't know why I didn't, but yes, I did. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. Okay, perfect. Now we'll into here. This will be a little easier if once I figure this out. I like the fact that I'm like sitting here like really hard to do this because you guys suck, whatever and stuff. I'm like literally, well. Okay. shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And I can even set this up so that it doesn't. I actually prefer this. More like this because it reads better as a block. That's okay. Right? And that's the thing. This is what's so frustrating. It's like, hey, Pepper DeLuca is joining me.
Hello.
De Pepper DeLuca. Okay, wait. I'm gonna put the chat overlay back on. Nobody's here, but I can put the chat overlay back on. I actually had to break down and go over to Photoshop, and I'm very annoyed. So how are you doing, Pepper DeLuca?
I got a commission.
You got a commission.
Yeah.
I can turn the music down so I can hear you.
Yeah, I got a commission for a group of brothers that are very young, so
So no funny stuff.
well, no, it's just, you know, it's 3 figures with a very simple background.
I'm just messing with you. You know I'm messing with you. And I'm only messing with you because I love you, and that's the way it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've been like really not picking up sarcasm lately. So it's not you.
That's why I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah. So what do you think this would be good for?
A big black thing.
Well, it's a sketchbook. It's a moleskin sketchbook.
Oh, that's a big sketchbook.
Yeah.
It's a monster sketchbook.
It's like.
What's the paper like?
It's watercolor paper. So it can handle watercolor on both sides. But I feel like I've only seen people using one side and not using the opposite side.
That makes sense. That's what I would do.
But like, I don't know what to do with it.
I mean,
like,
if
I
it
bought
were
it as
me,
like a challenge
I wouldn't.
to itself.
If it were me, I wouldn't use the other side either.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so like this, it actually comes with like an actual pocket on the back.
That's kind of cool.
Like, here. Pocket. For like reference materials and stuff. Oh. Oh, well, the quality control thing like fell out of it. Okay. Alright. Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me.
Well, it has like the story of whatever is going on with moleskin, and then like it goes into a French version, Spanish version, Portuguese. Then you flip it around, Swedish. That looks like Japanese. Chinese. So one is Cantonese and the other one's Mandarin.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the only reason why I realized that Japanese was Japanese in it because it did have some characters the same as in the Chinese. Mandarin.
Yep.
Was it had the lower alphabet. The lower alphabet. Alright. Take that off. Yeah. So I got up the trick or treat done. So I showed you the unicorns yesterday or the other day.
Or you just said trick or treat gun.
Yeah, so I got this is the trick. A two-tailed fox spirit tripping a witch from like her normal flying pattern.
Right.
And then this is the treat one, where like candy and everything like that is being like filled. And then yeah, I'm almost done catching up. I could draw, but I don't feel like drawing today at all, due to the fact of well, my arm has been hurting all day long, and I have to thank the weather for that.
Yeah. Thanks, weather.
Yeah.
Stupid weather.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm working on right now is coming up with 2 ideas to be in between 2 short stories that I need to have all 4 short stories done, writing wise at least, to have them all done like sequentially so that I can just do one right after another.
Fair.
So I guess like the final one still needs to be like edited, at least like the speaking points wise. The first one is the one where basically a murder happens. So like basically a hiker goes into the woods and does like pretty much everything incorrectly. The serial killer that's like following him like finds that like he left the keys in the lock of the cabin that he's staying in. He doesn't cover his mouth when he's like heavily panting as he's trying to hide, so he keeps being found. That sort of stuff.
Okay.
So I have 2 other ones that are supposed to go in between this one and the final one. And the final one I'm repurposing, and I already wrote with your help in one of the streams, where it's like the serial killer after the group of teenagers.
Yeah.
So essentially it's like the same thing, only it's the same serial killer in all four short stories.
Fair.
So I guess what it is I have a cold case which involves 2 police officers which are trying to figure out more clues, after they find a skeleton that was discovered, like, in dirt and leaves
Right.
type deal. And then there's, I call it the survive in Moonwoods, where it's like there's it's a group of 3 girls, but there's only 2 girls that are actually like make it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to figure out like what I want to do in each one of these. Like the cold case one is like police officers that are like literally like they don't meet the killer or anything like that. But they don't find the killer. They just find skeletal remains. That's it. But what like how do you I don't know. I'm stumped. I've been creatively blocked, so these are like things I'm trying to unblock with.
Right.
That
That's
helps. But the Survive the Moon Woods, like I'm not sure. Like part of me feels like I should have like one of the girls end up being pregnant by the serial killer at the end.
That's a twist.
I mean, it would be like if I ever wanted to do another one, like it'd be one of those things like I would be like the son of the killer in Moon Woods or something like that. Like something ridiculously long and pointless to say very long, but it like people who like anime would like it because the new anime titles are pretty much the same way. Like it starts off with 3 girls. I know that. So that's what I'm gonna start. That's the starting point, for sure.
Okay.
Just don't know how to outline this. Like which one I should do in each page. Because basically they're 9-page stories. They have to be shorts. And I still don't understand. Like, I still don't know if I want 2 girls at the end basically being alive or 1. And the one that's alive ends up getting pregnant.
As you are wont to do.
Well, I could negate it, I guess, but like I'm not going to show it in the story, like how
I kind of like that. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I think it's kind of funny. I just was like, well, there's that.
Well, yeah, it would basically be the final girl, like the final. You know what I mean? Like it would be the final girl trope, where like the final girl survives, but then there's like a twist part of it. I've been reading someone's comic right now, which they have a final girl, and then the final girl ends up living with the serial killer.
I like it.
He feels bad for her, and he's looking at her, and she like literally starts getting turned on with the prospect of being the final girl, like the final girl that gets killed. So like he spares her, and then she starts living with him and his wife. It's like super weird.
That is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. That's weird.
I definitely want to end it with the pregnancy, so that would be okay. I think I like that. I just need to figure out on how we get there. Because I actually got specific paper for this comic.
That works. I mean, I'm not knocking it.
Yeah. Well, I need to start doing comics, so that's. How else can you find my 6x9s? So, how's everything been going for you today?
Oh, we having problems with our solar panel people, but other than that, we're fine.
Oh,
Solar panel people are I've known 7th graders more professional. That's all.
well, if it makes you feel any better, the moment that we mention that we live in Loveland, they sit there and go, "Oh, okay, yeah, they don't have us. We're not able to service there." So,
yeah, it's not that. Look at this. These are our engineering drawings.
oh
They
wow,
left on the back patio in the snow, like this, just sitting there.
well,
I actually would not have known that they were there, except that the guys at the solar company said, "Hey, we think we may have done something. We need to check something. So will you please go out and take a picture of your fuse box?" So I went outside to take a picture of my fuse box and saw these sitting on our back patio. They're all water damaged now, all of them. Every
wonderful.
last one of these is water damaged. And I'm like, okay. So I brought them in and then scanned them all. And so I wrote to them just now and said, okay, if you guys need those back, I scanned them all for you. Yep. But, just saying, I've known 7th graders that are more professional than you guys are. It was,
It sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, I was, unimpressed. Let's just say. Finding them to be unimpressive.
Yeah, well. Well.
Anyway, oh, did I show you my new friend? I showed you my new friend, right? A personal friend of mine.
No.
This guy?
I saw the post online though.
Yeah.
So are
It's
you
much more
repainting it?
impressive when you do this. Right?
Yeah.
You can the clip comes out.
So when's the repaint happening?
When's what?
When's the repaint happening?
Pretty soon. I just got it. The first thing I'm going to do though is repaint it because it's the right size. I mean, this is the right size for this thing. This thing's a monster. I love it. But yeah, tomorrow the counter works. Like this counter actually counts up to whatever you want it to count up to. So you set that right here. It'll set because you could set it for 99, so it'll be accurate to the show. But the clip only holds 10 rounds, so you can't actually put 99 rounds in here like it does in the real show. But yeah, it's a lovely thing. My close personal friend, BM41A pulse rifle. Anyway. This has to go to press tomorrow. So I'm aggravated because, of course, it's easier to do text manipulation in Photoshop than it is in frickin' Clip Studio, because Clip still just, it doesn't understand the difference between characters. So
Gotcha.
is
this for your comic or someone else's?
This is mine. So this is the tech manual. The tech manual had some serious problems, some errors, and some mistakes that were in it. And I was kind of doing the what is, you know, what was the purpose of the tech manual? And really, it should have been a more of a like a world building document, kind of like a small version of a, you know, kind of like a, I don't know. Anyway, like if you get a game book, you know, an art book for a game or whatever, it should be something more like that. So it's kind of like, man, really kind of need to do a different thing with it, you know? So I went on ahead and kind of did that. And so we went ahead and did that. And, you know, so I've been kind of just fixing stuff. So now I'm just doing this because I want to try to get it to the printer tomorrow if I can. There you go. I'm just I'm just doing all this stuff, and I'm kind of like figuring things out, and kind of trying to figure out how to do all this, and hopefully finish it tonight. I don't know if I can. Tomorrow morning, I have to go to the doctor and get a ton of blood drawn, and that's gonna be fun.
Hmm.
That's a wall of text, but you know what? It works. So what do we do when you get down here? Do we know?
Oh, what time?
Yeah, ish.
I'm not quite sure. I just know that Bill said, like, you have to forgive me. This is like Bill is planning this, so like I don't know.
It's okay. I'm not actually very stressed out at all.
All I know is it has to be like we have to meet the guy before like noon because like he has something going on.
That's fine.
But like I was just like, okay.
Do you want to just come here first, pick me up, or and we can hang?
I mean, I know that you want to go with us to do it, so like I guess.
You don't have to. If it becomes stressy,
No.
I know, but
The only stressing thing about this for me is the fact that my husband doesn't plan things properly.
it's all good. I'm just what I'm saying is, let's say you guys get down here late. You know you need to meet him by noon. Yada yada yada. Don't let me be the stressor on this. I'd like to go with you, but if it doesn't happen, we'll go do lunch afterwards. Okay? So just so that you know that that's in there, so you don't have to go. Oh God, we've got to go pick up Guy first. You know what I mean? Like, don't let that be the stressor. I'd like to go with you, but if it doesn't happen, I'm cool with it.
How about this? Tomorrow morning I'll try to make the show so that Bill can come on and you guys can talk then.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
What's a good bird name? Seabird.
Seabird?
Yeah, seabird. Not booby. Because booby
No.
is bad.
Well, I mean, you don't want to do a blue-footed booby, no.
Yeah, let's find sea.
Or a red-footed booby.
Yeah.
There is. What is it? There's the osprey, which is a type of hawk that hunts in water specifically.
Osprey's good. I like that. That's good.
And then there's the seagull,
Yeah,
the pelican.
that one's good. I'm going with osprey.
Okay.
Thank
Osprey. Okay.
I'm trying to. Yeah, osprey is a great name for it. Because the osprey should be.
Are you saying osprey?
Yeah, osprey. Osprey. I've heard them pronounced as osprey.
Oh, I've always heard them called offspray.
That probably is also accurate. You know how it goes. I hate to say this, but you and I know darn well that the South can change all kinds of crap.
Oh, hell yeah, I know that. Well, it also depends on which part of the South that you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, your Southern accent's different than mine, and we're both from the South.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a military aircraft that's already named it.
Yep, B-22.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, oh, I like that one, because I like the idea that she was in charge of a much nicer Corvette, and then her world came unglued. And then once it did, they stuck her in kind of a lousier Corvette.
Yeah. I just like the animal in general because it's like one of the few hawks or birds of prey that is actually adapted to eat fish specifically. They're all over the South. If no one's ever seen these things, like they grow massive. Their nests are huge. They're usually like their nests are usually in like you can see them usually in like dead trees that are on the water. But they've had a lot like when you picture like an evolved version of like a raptor, they are quintessentially what you would think a raptor would have evolved into with wings.
Right.
Because it like still has like it's like one of the few birds of prey that if you look at it standing, it still has like a dinosaur shape. Like the way that they move and everything like that. It's like very very on how you expect a raptor to kind of move.
Yeah.
And their young looks so weird. They're also one of those birds that in Florida you cannot harm them in Florida at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Texas, but I know in Florida their version of the osprey you cannot harm at
Would
all.
not surprise me if in Texas you can kill it all you want, because
Yeah.
Texas is really not big on preservation of anything.
Well, like I'm talking like these the birds themselves, like they pick off like they tend to pick off like smaller fish, which is fine. But like they also kind of help with fishing populations, like from going like really badly. Especially when like if the southern states have like high like I don't know how to describe it. Basically, when the freshwater areas have like high amounts of fish breeding, I know it's not due to heat, but basically, like they'll go in and they'll basically like reduce it really quickly.
Sure.
But then they usually spread out, so. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. I'm looking at the map where they usually reside. They're throughout the Caribbean, the eastern seaboard, western seaboard, all of Canada. Basically anywhere where you find fresh water. Like high amounts of fresh water.
Yep.
Yeah. Which means that they're also in Africa. They are in the rainforest, Brazil. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, going on a tangent.
Nope, it's all good. Okay. Chang Li. Li was born in Dome 5 of the Xingqiao colony, an exclusionary colony settled by ethnically Chinese elitists, shortly after the diaspora of humanity. When Li was 10, a second colony settled next to the old Chinese domes. This colony built newer and better domes. 7 years later, the colony attempted to take over the Chinese dome. This is way too clunky.
Well, I mean, I understand the backstory.
I'm just trying to put it in here. When Li was 10, a colony of Commonwealth settlers built domes adjacent to Xingqiao. That works.
What's something that you think would like give someone a thump on the head, knocking them out but not killing them?
My staff. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends. Like, classically, breaking glass or breaking a bottle over somebody's head will do that, but I think that's a trope. I think in real life that doesn't work, but it would work if you're going for sort of a tropey-esque.
Well, and basically, like, the killer kills her two friends, and then she gets back to the cabin thinking she's safe, but, like, he hits her on the back of the head, and, like, that scene ends with him, like, basically looking at her like he doesn't want to kill her. In a death sort of way, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she finds out that she's pregnant 12 days after everything goes down.
Right?
Yes. Alright.
All right, let's see if that reads better. Lee was born in Dome 5 of the Xinjiao colony, an exclusionary colony. Settled by ethnically Chinese elitists. Shortly after man, that was rough. There we go. An exclusionary location exclusionary planet. There we go. Settled by ethnically Chinese elitists shortly after the diaspora of humanity. When Li was 10, a colony of Commonwealth settlers built domes adjacent to Xinjiao. 7 years later, the Commonwealth colony initiated a bloody takeover of the Chinese colony. 17-year-old Li was thrust into a brief but horrible conflict which ended up ultimately killing her father and 3 of her siblings, and putting all of them under a Commonwealth dictatorship. Unfortunately, the Commonwealth abandoned the colony and left the people to starve. 1 year later, a Unity ship arrived to help the last struggling survivors, and a starved Li Chang was brought into the folds of the Unity. That fits better. As a young woman, Li joined the Unity Space Service and moved quickly up the ranks. A promising young officer, Li quickly positioned herself. There we go. A promising young officer, Li smartly positioned herself to be in the command track, aiming for the captain's chair. Sadly, a family tragedy struck Li just as she had taken command of the corvette UMC Osprey, and she took a year to recover. Many in the Admiralty felt she never really did truly recover, and after a lackluster four-year term of service, Li was remanded to Surface Command, where she worked at traffic control. Now to the surface. Random control. Okay, Lee was remanded to random surface control, where she worked at traffic command for another 2 years. Lee took command of the UMC QuaCk as a long-term. Okay, there we go. Lee took charge of the UMC QuaCk as a long-term command after the skipper of the ship retired. Previous skipper. She is now in the second of her 8-year command contract. There we go. I like that. That works. All right. Does it sound like there was a monkey in this song or something?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
Monkey.
there's a noise that kind of is making like
Monkey sounds.
not monkey sounds, just it's not used in all the other songs you've been playing.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Monkey sounds, man.
Oh, I got some books today too.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I never hate books. That's always good.
Well, I got this one. It's like a murder mystery, but it's so the main character. Her name is Alice Claus. She's the wife of Santa Claus, and so she has to solve a Halloween mystery in Santa Land, Christmas Town.
There.
Yeah. The previous book with these characters was like the Santa Land slayings. So she, like, I don't know. It's a murder mystery.
We've improved a little bit, yeah.
But I've gotten a few other things. I got one book that's actually being turned into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember them all. Because I also got the Encyclopedia of Beasts, the Phantasmagoria, as well. I'll have to go up and see. Because I got another Ray Bradbury book as well. Yeah, got that. Trying to remember them all. I got like we went to Barnes and Noble and I got Bill's Halloween gift with him there. He's been trying to find Boggle. And
There you go.
we found it. So
That's awesome. I don't know if it's a good idea to have a doctor who loves practical jokes, but that's all right. As opposed to our Marine commander who does not like practical jokes. Ugh, so many things. Solving board. I like putting all these city names like Black East and Salt Lake Port, Kumo City, and like all the cities that exist, because they're all really local. Like everybody's from Renham, which in a galactic thing is pretty rare. But I was thinking about how even the aliens are from Renham, or at least they're all from Bellatrix, right? Better spec from the inner world, the little world that's around this, the closest to the sun. But the rest of them were all born on Renham, which is the capital city or the capital world of Bellatrix. Because there's of course many moons and stuff like that. They're all from Renham.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Bill asked how many more Halloween movies we're gonna get. And I was like, those probably as many as Jamie Lee Curtis will want.
Yeah, likely so.
Honestly, I think the latest one, this one coming up, I think is supposedly the final one.
The final.
Well, I mean, I was watching a YouTube video of someone who like follows the Halloween stuff, like the Halloween movies, like really well.
Sure.
And he was saying like Halloween, the season of the witch one, supposedly was like supposed to be this one where supposedly is this like it's supposed to be the one that basically like makes all of the it goes away from what we knew of Halloween at the beginning, and it becomes like a progressive series of like anthology style movies. But it never, there was like no follow through with it.
Right.
Like because Season of the Witch is like the most unsuccessful one out of all of them.
Right.
And if no one's ever seen Season of the Witch, I mean, it's good in its own right, but it definitely is not the same as the normal Halloween.
Fair. William, I think I am running out of steam. What about you? I don't think I'm going to be able to make it and finish this. Just too much typing. I had to do too many other things tonight. It's kind of a bummer.
Well, I think I'm almost like I'm on the last page to outline what's going to happen on the final page for the second story.
That's cool.
So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to. I'm just going to switch over real quick from my away from keyboard, and I'll go brush my teeth and prep for bed, and then I'll come back in a minute. What do you think?
Okay.
Then you can keep working and keep broadcasting, and I'll be right back.
If anyone shows up, sure.
Yeah, I'll be right here. I've used the AFK function a couple of times now. I think it's kind of cool. I've got the AFK thing where it just puts up the running, and it's cool because I can do this as a full page thing. So if we were to make it so that it's like this, it can still run full page, but the chat is over there on the right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually kind of cool too. And actually, like, even here, this works really well because like you can still see what's going on, but you're in the bottom right-hand corner still.
Cool.
So it actually works really well still. This is my layout for Can when Can's on.
Gotcha.
I'm going to I actually have had like a lot of readers reading my Bellatrix comics out there on Global Comics, which is cool.
Gotcha.
I think that's neat.
Cool. I closed the stories that I was working on. I think doing the outlines were all I really needed to do today. Or tonight. Alright. So,
Okay, I'm gonna send a message saying I'm not quite ready. Can I send it to you at 11:15 tomorrow? Will that still work? Because I need to finish writing these two guys and like a couple of other pieces down here. Like, not all of it's super. Hey, do you think you could make me a little ad for one of your comics by tomorrow?
But
Anything you want. I've got an empty last page, which I usually put an ad for one of our other people's comics. But right now, this page is wide open and empty. You want to do something like Pia? Because I did the Pia one before.
Well, right now I'm not at a point where I'm publishing anything. I'm working to get there again.
And you could definitely put a coming in, January 2023 if you wanted. Or whatever. You don't have to. I don't mean to put stress on you. I just was like realizing I'm going to put Pia on the back.
A little bit too quick for me. So I'm not trying to be mean, but I think it may be a little bit too quick for me.
Why would you be mean? Why would that be mean?
I'm not being mean.
I don't understand why would that be mean? That's not mean. It means no, you can't do it. That's fine, dude. You're good. Not mean at all. Nothing mean about it. So, okay, well then, I think it is midnight. And I'll just put Pia back there. I've got an ad. It's not a problem. I just suddenly was like, I always put Pia on the back of these things. I really shouldn't put it on the back of the things over and over and over, but I should. But that'd be cool. Let's do something else. So, cool. I will see you then tomorrow if you wish to join me.
Well, I think I need to do it first thing in the morning, just so that you can hatch things out with my husband.
Sure. I'll see you tomorrow morning then, first thing. And hopefully we'll get this thing rolled out. And hopefully I won't be too dizzy from them drawing 6,000 quarts of blood from me. Little vampires. We're doing blood drawing tomorrow so that we can see what my blood's doing, but also so that we can talk about because we think that I have psoriatic arthritis. And that's why.
Which is one of the few arthritises that you can actually have a blood test done to see if you actually have it.
Yep.
I've been tested for psoriatic arthritis.
And it also has some very, very effective and workable treatments.
Yep.
Which means that it may not be that I'm just old and fat and the reason why I cannot actually bend over and reach my toes anymore and stuff like that, and I'm getting cramps in the middle of the night and yada, yada, yada. That may not have anything to do with it. Which would be cool.
Yeah.
My friend, I will see you on the morrow. Good night.
Good night, and keep your eyes on the